Here's going to be a review for Kingdom Hearts 1, the first game and installment in the legendary video game series released back in 2002. Now, it may seem a little random to do a review for this game right now, but admittedly, I randomly did a walkthrough for the game just for the hell of it for my Kingdom Hearts channel recently, so I decided, it, why not do a review for it, especially since I rarely get to talk about Kingdom Hearts on this channel. And new installments in this series are far and few in between these days, and that's definitely being very kind. I play the game as part of the HD PS4 Remaster Edition released years ago now. I wouldn't be able to tell you where my original PS2 is. For those unfamiliar with the series, Kingdom Hearts is a mashup collaboration between Disney and Square Enix, as our main character Sora goes on an epic journey to essentially save the universe, where he encounters Disney and Final Fantasy characters. To sum it up, you got Sephiroth and Winnie the Pooh in the same game. Enough said. If I could best sum up the story here in simple and clean fashion, as the universe and worlds are being swept away by the forces of darkness, a 14-year-old boy named Sora becomes the chosen wielder of a legendary sword-like weapon called the Keyblade. He uses this weapon and his new companions in Donald Duck and Goofy to find his missing friends and save the worlds from the forces of darkness. As the series has gone on through the years, the story has definitely gotten very annoyingly convoluted, especially with some of the recent mobile installments. But the great thing to appreciate going back to revisit the original Kingdom Hearts game is seeing how comparatively scaled back the story was. It boils down to your classic underdog chosen hero story a la Star Wars that we've seen many times through the years, but we've seen that that's an effective story setup. Besides Mickey's House of Villains, you've never seen a Disney villain team up as epic as this, as it sees Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty leading a group of Disney baddies comprised of Hades, Jafar, Ursula, Captain Hook, and Oogie Boogie. The Disney villain element is the main antagonistic force through most of the game, and even though Disney has been a core part of basically all the Kingdom Hearts games, the way it's done here is actually done the best when it comes to how it plays into the main story, and not just feel like filler when it comes to buying time until the game gets to its original non-Disney story concepts. The game definitely lives up to its original tagline, you never know who you'll run into next, and that holds true in so many ways when it comes to how the Disney element is incorporated in this game. In the form of worlds, of course, aka levels that you visit, but then there's Disney characters you can summon to aid you in battle, side story quests like finding 101 Dalmatians through all the worlds, and the story importance of the Disney princesses here. You get a diverse range of Disney properties featured in this game. Now keep in mind this game was originally released in 2002, so movies that were made into levels here like Hercules and Tarzan were only 5 years old and 3 years old respectively. But you get a healthy amount of what I call old school Disney representation in the forms of levels like Peter Pan's or Pinocchio's. The Disney worlds are where a fair amount of time is spent through in this game, and while all of them contribute to the charm and overall adventure in the story, admittedly not all of them are great gameplay wise or even concept wise. I wasn't much of a fan of the worlds based on Alice in Wonderland or Pinocchio, and Tarzan's level is legendary for where newcomers get lost in because they don't know where the they're supposed to go to next. But there were worlds that were some real bangers like The Nightmare Before Christmas, Aladdin's, or Peter Pan's. And yes, I enjoy this game's Little Mermaid level a lot more than most people did. Gameplay wise, the game is consistently great in its level design and action role-playing elements. The level design in this game requires you to explore and find solutions and utilize special mobility abilities to proceed through areas where there's heavy platforming required. While it can be a little frustrating for a newcomer's first playthrough, it's all extremely satisfying for a seasoned Kingdom Hearts veteran like myself. I do think a major issue in the story progression here is how it's not always clear where you're supposed to go, which causes a whole lot of trouble for newcomers in worlds that I mentioned like Tarzan's. But thankfully this issue was fixed for the next main installment in Kingdom Hearts 2. Your basic combat still mostly holds up okay. It's a real-time action game where you spend most of your time combating monsters born of darkness called the Heartless. And of course there's a healthy amount of boss battles here. I think your basic fights throughout the game against the Heartless are still fine, but I don't think the boss battle combat holds up all that great, especially compared to how Kingdom Hearts 2 and 3 handled combos gameplay-wise. But for what it is, it's still manageable. Actually, in a story canon sense, it works out because this game is Sora's first adventure, so he shouldn't feel like a pro seamlessly wrecking shop for whoever he comes across. There are shared boss battles though that are still pretty damn epic all the years later. You get a healthy amount of post-game adventures to deal with in the form of bosses, highlighted by Sephiroth and some other mega battles. Story and gameplay, though, are harmonious and a great video game experience for me, and I just can't talk enough about how much I love the story here. The game beautifully set up our original characters in Sora, Riku, and Kairi, and then goes off on an epic journey with Disney levels being your main setting, building to a crescendo of an original story elements and ultimately the story's main antagonist. It all helps that Sora is arguably at his best as the protagonist in this game. I've always found him to be a little despondent through a fair amount of this game, but it actually works out because the way he's written just works so well for a chosen hero type story. His bond with Kairi fuels his drive through the game.
Don't ever forget, wherever you go, I'm always with you.
But his pal Riku's turn to the dark side, Anakin Skywalker style, is where it definitely starts to go sideways for him. Riku was definitely a total dick in this game.
There's no way you're taking Kairi's heart!
As I mentioned, his main companions through the game are Donald and Goofy, and while things definitely aren't perfect for them at the start, by the end of the game they become a legendary trio. And that's what Kingdom Hearts 1 ends up being, is legendary. A great mix of compelling epic narrative, mashed up in one Disney and Final Fantasy collaboration. Not all of the game was perfect, some elements that weren't great back when the game came out definitely aren't great now, which is why the game isn't a total yeah for me, but it definitely still qualifies as excellent. There will always be comparisons between the three numbered titles in Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3, and each definitely has specific advantages I'd give over the others, with the main upper edges I'd give to Kingdom Hearts 1 being story and narrative focus, puzzles, problem solving, platforming, and Disney integration. I'll get to official reviews for those installments when I get around to those walkthroughs from my walkthrough channel. So that'll do it for this review of Kingdom Hearts 1. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching.